Running your own real estate investment business can be stressful, time-consuming, and difficult to manage. Where do you start? Why go out and try and reinvent the wheel when we have the answer? With our exclusive training program, we will teach you how to free up your time to build your business, develop your goals, learning where to find the money, how to find better deals, keeping track of offers, building a team, and developing a business plan that works for you. We at Real Impact Real Estate Training and Mentoring have all the answers for you. We have several plans to help you get your business to the next level. We have developed the best one-on-one personal training system in the industry. We have a proven structure that has been developed for more than 50 years through the purchase and sales of thousands of homes and commercial properties. We will help you set up and build your real estate investment business. Whether you are new to investing or you are a seasoned professional, we have a plan for you to customize your business to a method that works, is affordable, and fits your budget. With training modules like finding money, finding deals, learning how to get correct comps, building a team, short sales, subject twos, foreclosures, making multiple offers, understanding auctions, REOs, and tax sales, working to build your construction team, and finding sellers and buyers. Find your property management team, plus over 70 additional training modules to choose from. Sit down with us for a one-on-one consulting to see what training plan is best to develop your goals and to build your business by using the 5 M's of investing: mining, money, maintenance, marketing, and management. Wouldn't your life be great if you can live it on your own terms? We help you develop and structure your business to take massive action. Join the Real Impact Real Estate Training today. Change your life today with real estate investing.
Hi, Roger Pascal here. Thank you for being on tonight. This is Real Impact. I'm the CEO of Real Impact Training Systems. For those of y'all that might be new to this call, and what we offer at Real Impact is we improve the quality of people's lives through real estate investing. You know, we have several locations throughout Texas and Oklahoma. Real Impact provides local real estate investors with networking and educational meetings. All of our franchises are owned and operated by seasoned investors who we call Impact Master Trainers. In short, you'll hear us call them IMTs. In addition to our monthly meetings and workshops, our IMTs also offer a variety of one-on-one mentoring programs that can help no matter where you're at in your personal real estate journey. If you're interested in learning more about any of our training programs, please reach out to any one of our Impact Master Trainers IMTs. You can find the IMT locations and contact information online. We're going to be going over that website tonight. We're going to show you how to find our meetings and show you what we have in our website. So just clicking on the location button in the middle of the screen, in a few minutes, several of our IMTs will be joining us so we can meet them tonight. One of our primary objectives each Sunday night is to provide you with an opportunity to ask questions about real estate investing. No need to wait for the work week to start. Just type your question in the chat box and we will see if we can get one of our IMTs to answer those questions. Now, if you're on YouTube, you must subscribe to that channel to make sure that you are able to see the chat box that pops up with you. So tonight, I am just elated that we are going to be talking about our website. You know, I cannot tell you how many hundreds or thousands of hours have gone into our website. Nobody else in the industry can touch the information that we have there. It is at your fingertips. It is available. And that's what our program is going to be tonight, is talking about what we have in our website. So with that said and done, let's add everybody on the screen right quick and introduce us. Karen Maxwell, Impact Plano Corporate; Doug Toon, Impact Longview; Eric Short, Impact Grand Prairie. So thank you all for being on here tonight. I am just, like I said, I'm ecstatic about our website. It is such a great tool that we use every single day. My students Um, they're on there all the time, and they actually have multiple times found things that I did not know was on there, which is pretty darn cool because, like I said, you can spend we could spend weeks on this webinar going over the website. So we're going to hit the highlights tonight. So Karen, tell us what's going on.
Well, welcome to the podcast. As Roger said, we do this every Sunday night at 7:00. And if you can't find it, it's right in the middle of the screen. It says live chat. If you don't see live chat, make sure you have subscribed to Real Impact Network on YouTube. I'm guessing on Facebook, it just comes up automatically because we're streaming to 2 different locations. Your chat box should already be there. Feel free to ask your questions. And hi, Kim. Then we will do our best to get that question answered. CJ, you want to bring up our beautiful screen?
Well, hang on. Let me get Doug in here. Doug, tell us what's going on your end.
Oh, you mean as far as what's going
happening?
On at Impact Longview?
Yeah, what's happening in life? I know you're having another grandkid, so congratulations.
Yeah, we're having another grandbaby. This month the meetings are pretty much over. November we're having Roger Pascal come and talk to us about sub-2s, and then I'm doing a rehab estimating course the following Saturday. So,
all right,
good deal. How to estimate rehabs.
Good deal.
And people can sign up with that on MeetUp, right, Doug? Or MeetUp?
It's on MeetUp. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere. I've sent out emails. There'll be an email go out tomorrow.
All right, cool.
Good deal. All right, that's exciting. Eric, tell us what's going on.
Hey, so Grand Prairie just had a great meeting. Roger Pascal was there talking about owner financing, which is a great subject. But his evil twin, Roger Pascal, will be attending next month on Election Day, 11/8, the second Tuesday. He'll be talking about subject to and his upcoming opportunity to spend a day with him, learning straight from the font of all subject to knowledge.
All right. Thank you. All right. Good deal. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah. So Plano, we just had a great meeting, and we are going to be having our next one on November the 5th. We're going to have Brighton Godwin come up. Doug, I know that you guys have had him talk in Longview. He is just an absolute phenomenal person. He's like 25, he may be 26 now, but his whole thing is he was able to build $1 million portfolio in less than a year before he turned 25. And he's going to be talking with us about how he did that. So I'm really excited about that. And then Roger Pascal will be there December the 3rd, talking about subject 2.
There you go. Yeah, we have a big event. We'll be talking about that at the end of this call, about how you can get involved. And we have 2 full day subject 2 events. You can choose between one or the other. And we'll go through that at the end of the call. So there we go. So CJ, can you bring up, we got a little PowerPoint here. We're going to talk to you about what our website is and where you can find it. So our website is realimpacttraining.com, and it's realimpacttraining.com. So that's how you get to our website. And so you want to take a note of that and what we have going on there. So let's click to the next slide. There we go. So when you click on there, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the box on the left, and it's going to have 3 different boxes down there. The blue box, which we're going to go over what all these are. We have the silver box, and we have the red box. But the first thing we're going to talk about is our meetings. Click here. So that is the that right there will get you to our calendar, and you can pick up if you want to go to November, you want to go to December. Heck, if you want to go to March of next year, you can look and see what's going on. And all of our locations will have meetings on there. You pick a date and you look at it and you figure out if you're going to be in that area. We want you to join. All of our meetings are free. All of our weekly meetings or our monthly meetings, are free. So this is a great tool. So anybody want to pitch in on any of that? Or
I'll add to that. I just wanted to remind everyone that Real Impact, we are franchises. So each of our locations is independently owned and operated. So the subject for the different meetings will often be different. So in other words, Grand Prairie just talked about owner financing. I'm fixing to be having someone come talk about, are you too young or too old to be a successful real estate investor? And so it's different. In East Texas, Roger has a meeting there in Tyler, Lindale, but then Doug has a different meeting in Longview. Sometimes it's a similar topic, sometimes it's completely different. Different speakers, different topics. Of course, because we're leading up to our big event in December, Roger is going to be at several of the locations in the month of November and December, but typically it's a different topic. So
Correct. Absolutely.
You can look through there and see what the titles are and see which ones interest you, find out where they're going to be. And if you click on once you click on the calendar, and if you see one that interests you, if you click on that, that's going to open up the picture and all the details. So you can kind of look at all that.
I love this feature because I used to use a paper calendar and tried to every month jot down, okay, Tim's meeting here and Pam's meeting here. And I would go through and I would write them in, and then I would try to add them to my phone calendar, my Google calendar, but having them in one place has really been helpful.
Absolutely.
I tell you what I do. I go on to their event whenever I see it on MeetUp, and I go ahead and click that I'm going to attend, because then that way all I have to do on meeting night is click on it, and I click on that. I click on the location, and it takes me opens up my GPS, and I'm headed to Longview before I know it, the right way.
There you go. So if you click on the header of any of these meetings, it's going to take you to meetup.com, and then at that point, if you're not registered on meetup.com, you want to register on there. That's where it's free, and pretty much all the real estate meetings in the world are on meetup.com. And you just pick an area you're looking for, but you want to subscribe to the Impact meetings. And if you subscribe to Plano, it doesn't mean that you're also subscribed to Grand Prairie. So you got to subscribe to each one you might go to. And you'll get notifications when the meetings are coming up and what the meeting subjects are. So it's a great tool for us. And once again, we have all of our Impact locations on there, but you also may find other things you might be interested in. If you're, in my case, my wife is into scrapbooking. There's a ton of scrapbooking sites. Excuse me, a ton of scrapbooking sites on meetup.com. So it's not only real estate, and it's not to hook up with somebody for a date. It's not that at all. It's strictly business. It's all about business. So make sure you make a note of that. Subscribe to each of the locations that you might be interested in driving to and going to one of our meetings.
Yep. Roger, we have a question. Andrew Harris would like to know. He says, hello, I have a question. If you have a subject to deal, how would you refinance or cash out the deal to do rehab if needed? Well,
at that point, it's real simple. You would pay off the original loan. You would work with your lender. It could be a private lender. It could be a local bank. It could be hard money lender, whatever you want, like any other purchase. You would just take out the original note on the subject to, and then you would work to put that together. So for instance, we have a great bank that we work with. And depending on the deal and depending on what you're wanting to pay, because each level might be a little different on the interest rate or the terms, or the length of the note or whatever, but they will not only loan you the money to buy the property, they will loan you the money to do the rehab. And of course you have to go through some bells and whistles on that. It's not difficult. It's just, you have to show that you're responsible with money. We do have a saying in this business that all the money you will ever need is available to you, but you have to do your part too. You have to be responsible. You can't have a 480 credit score. You need to work on that to get that credit score up. You can't spend every dime that comes in. You can't be driving the newest, fanciest cars, if you don't have the money to do that with. So there's responsibilities there that we have, but that's a great question. And you would just take that out like a normal deal. And we're going to be going over that in the subject to all day event that we're going to be talking about later in this call.
For sure. Thanks, Roger.
All right. So on this page here on our website, so what the blue box is if you are interested in knowing more about what we offer, if you're interested in knowing more about who we are, you're going to click on the new box, the blue box there, and it's going to take you to the web, open the web page up that has what we train on, what we do, how we do it, who we are, and that's kind of what we build on that. So our next slide is going to be the silver box. Hang on, next slide's not coming up. Beep.
Beep. Click,
There
click.
we go. Yeah. Okay. As long as I don't now go through like 15 slides in 2 seconds. So the silver box here is if you're interested in being a trainer, if you're interested in maybe one day opening up a franchise, if you have an existing REI group and you need that support, that's what we offer in the franchise end of it. So that right there is going to give you the opportunity to see what we do and how we do it and how we put this together to support our franchisees like we have on the call tonight and all the others that aren't on the call tonight that are running their own locations. So, but that's what the silver box is. Now, on that silver box, you have locations. So if you're interested in knowing where our locations are, instead of going to the calendar, you can go straight to the locations and it will pull up and you have an area there. You can type in your location, your zip code. You can do a multiple mile radius around you. If you want to say, I want to look at only impact meetings that are within 50 miles of where I'm at, or 25 miles or 10 miles or 200 miles, that will give you the opportunity to see there. And you can see there, these are all the impact locations that we have in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay. And then the red box right there is if you're a student of ours or you're subscribed to the website, you would click on the red box here and it's going to take you to what we have in our website. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about what we have to offer within our website. Now, once again, we have more material in that website than we could ever go over in days on a webinar. So we're going to cut this down to a certain time frame tonight. And we're only going to talk about certain aspects of the website to give you an overview. So let's go ahead. There we go. So once you click on that, you sign in or you sign up, and it opens up to what you have. So you can see the headers on the top of the screen right there. If you need, you can expand your screen to the full screen feature. That's going to be on the bottom right hand of your screen. If you're on a PC or a Mac or something like that, that's going to be on the bottom right. But you can see here we have multiple tabs on the top, and this is what we're going to kind of be going over today in our call. So our next slide is kind of the resource tab. You can see there on the top left.
Hey, Roger.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I introduce you? Can I interrupt you for a second?
Absolutely.
We have a couple of questions, but I wanted to get to Ray Bali's comment. He says, I'm totally new to the real estate market. This seems advanced. Do you have intro sessions? Well, Ray, we actually record these. We go live every Sunday night and we record them and they're posted back on the YouTube channel. I'm not sure if you're on Facebook or YouTube. I can't really tell. I think you're on, looks like you're on Facebook. So on Facebook, I believe they're also on Real Impact Network's Facebook page. And you can go back and watch any of the previous episodes. We kind of tell you in the title what it's about. But we do try to keep our instructions, our calls, easily understandable. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out or ask us for clarification, as Andrew has above here. I think they just answered your question, Andrew.
Well, yeah, let me pitch this in here for Ray too.
Okay.
Is all of our lessons are basic. I mean, yeah, in our coaching programs, about 70% of our students are seasoned investors. They've been doing real estate investing. About 30% are brand new. And we're successful with both of those groups because of the way we train. And we want you to know, and we're going to be going over that in the website tonight, about what we have in there and how that works for us and works for any of our students or any of our members that join the website. So we want you to have the right information. We want you to be connected to the right people and doing the things that you need to do, because this is a great business to be in. It's not a get rich quick business, but it is a get wealthy business as you work it. So I just want to throw that in there, Karen.
Yes, and Doug from Longview was just asking Ray we're asking where you're located. Andrew has a follow-up question. He said thank you, by the way. He says if I have a seller finance deal and I flip the property, how do I keep my original deal in place, which I structured the deal with my seller, and they wanted to maintain the payments for tax purposes? Do I hire a servicing company to continue to pay them? Andrew, your questions, you really need to make sure, I'm not sure where you're located. Where are you located? Because we really want to make sure that you get to the introduction to subject to whenever, hopefully we're going to be in an area near you. And that's going to be throughout the months of November and December. So if you can tell us where you're located, we'll make sure that you know when they're going to be having that near you.
Right. And that would be considered a wrap. And we go extensively in our trainings on how to do wraps and the partners you work with. And, in a lot of cases, well, and pretty much all wraps, and this is what we've been pushing for years, is you're going to be working with a servicing company. So that's just bottom line there. Let them do it. Let them do the IRS filings. Let them send the notices out to your buyer. Let them send the notices out to you for your CPA to work with on that basis. So those are great questions on there. That is very, very in depth on how we do that. But we make it easy, and the people we work with make it easy. Let other people do their jobs, and your job will be easier.
That's right. That's right. Arlington. Okay, Andrew, we do have one. I'm going to look at the dates so I can make sure I give you the correct date as to when Roger's going to be giving the free introduction to subject to.
We have Arlington and Grand Prairie.
Yep. I'll get those dates while you go back to going over them. Okay. So, Ray, what we're doing tonight is we're just showing you guys what our website offers.
Very good. Sorry, I was going to drink water. So the resource tab, we have, every tab we have in this system is just packed with information. I'm telling you, when I went to Dennis about 4 or 5 years ago, and I said, Dennis, we've got to package you. Something happens to you, we lose a library of information. And Dennis has worked on this. Literally from sun up to sundown for years, putting this together and reaching out to others and getting information from others and building on his own knowledge and what he's put together in his 50 plus years of real estate investing. So in our resource tabs, you can see here, we have multiple areas in here. We have acronyms. We go to clauses. We have Dennis's easy rent to own system, which is absolutely phenomenal. We have folders, we have forms, formulas, glossaries, policies and procedures, and a business directory. So with that, let's click the next slide, and we're going to go, for instance, these are forms. So we open this up, and we have forms, and it's alphabetical. So if you need an abandonment form, an affidavit and memorandum of an option to buy, a newsletter, so affidavit of heirship questionnaire, that affidavit of heirship questionnaire is invaluable when you're buying a probate property. They will lie to you. Okay. We had a client through an investor, and the investor and the title company asked the client, it was a probate deal. Do you have any siblings? Do you have any brothers or sisters? Or have you ever had any brothers or sisters? Because if they had a brother that passed away, but he has children, they're a full out heir as the brother would have been, or even grandchildren, they're full out heirs. And he said, absolutely not. I have no siblings. I'm an only child. Well, the title company did their due diligence and came back and said, not only does he have siblings, he has a brother and a sister. And so they asked him, why did you tell us you don't have a brother and sister when you have a brother and a sister? He says, well, my brother's in prison and my sister is gay, so they don't count. Well, that's not the way the law looks at it. It's kind of humorous as we look at it now, but that's why you need to know these facts. I have seen so many investors get 95% into a deal and it falls apart because they did not ask the right questions to start with. And they didn't have the right team to work with, and they didn't have the right guidance to work with that. Does anybody have any comments on our forum section on this website?
I've ran into the same thing. Whenever you say, do you have any other siblings? You might need to ask, do your parents have any other children? Because they don't always consider them their siblings. And trust me, it is not something that we as investors choose to include your estranged family members. We go by the law. The title company goes by the law, and the law dictates, depending on probate, no probate, will, no will, who are the legal heirs to the property, not us.
There you go. It is. You do this business long enough, you're going to have a ton of stories. I mean, I love telling stories, but I have stories for every part of this business there is. So in our forum section, as you can see, we also do that alphabetically. You can pull those up. We also have a search button on every area of this that you can pull up keyword searches. Or if you know the form number, you can pull it up by the form number. We have form numbers for all of our documents, for all of our forms, and most of our other items in here. So it's very easy to pull that up and see where they're at. So Karen, did you get the dates on that?
I am typing them in for CJ to put in the chat right now.
Okay.
Andrew in Arlington. Well, actually in Grand Prairie on November the 8th at 6:30 p.m. Roger will be in Grand Prairie at Main Event Grand Prairie at 6:30. On November the 17th, Roger will be in Arlington at 6 p.m. at the Texas Golf Center. And I'm typing that up for CJ to post in the chat for you right now.
Right. So the Grand Prairie is South Grand Prairie. It's right there off of 20 and the tollway, the George Bush tollway, right north at the Main Event where all the shopping is. And
it's north of 20. It's all the way up by Warrior Trail, but it's at Warrior Trail and 161.
Absolutely. So, but once again, you can go to our calendar and you can click on that calendar, or you can go to our locations and you can go into the MeetUp group and you can see what they have scheduled for you on that basis.
Yep.
And then we have the Arlington location is kind of far west Arlington, East Fort Worth. It's right there at Randall Mill and I-30, west of Six Flags. So that's a couple of dates that we have there that you can reach out to and come to those on those meetings. So, but once again, on our forums here, you can do, we even have state specific forms. So if you're in a state other than Texas, we have forms for you there. And we really try hard to keep all that information to you. And if you have a form that you have found that works very good, please share it with one of us that are IMTs, and we would be glad to take a look at it and maybe add it to our website. Because I'm telling you, I'm a huge advocate of Bigger Pockets. I think it's a great website, but our website is literally so much more intensive as far as the actually getting down to business part of it. The Bigger Pockets is a great blog. It's great areas. They have some great information on there. But I'm telling you, I compare just a quick thing on acronyms. I compare to Bigger Pockets to ours, and ours is like 10 times, 20 times built out more than any other website I've seen. But I think everybody in this business needs to be on Bigger Pockets, and I think everybody in this business who's doing the business needs to be on our website. They complement.
RealImpactTraining.com.
There you go. RealImpactTraining.com. There you go. Absolutely. So then we go to formulas. So we have a ton of formulas in this that we use, and how to Ray was saying a while ago that he's new. And was it Ray that was saying he was new? I think it is.
Yes.
And the formulas are invaluable because you don't want to just go out there and throw mud on the wall. You don't know what's going on. You want some guidance on that. And that's what we have within our system is guidance on that. So anybody got any comments on the forms and how we work that? Or I know Doug, you have tons of different forms that you use in your business.
Yeah. Well, the offer generator, I use options all the time. I use options even if I'm doing another method of investing. I just nail it down with an option. So
Absolutely.
no, it's all of the forms. I've got them all, and no, I love it. So
absolutely, Eric, how are you doing on your investing and bidding with using the formulas and how we map that out?
Well, like Doug said, I really like the option form. I've used the Trek form, but the option form also makes it a no-brainer. It ties it up and gives me control of it until I can find my exit strategy.
Absolutely. So
I think it's a little more user friendly.
yeah,
absolutely. So we have, like I said, we have so much information in here. There's absolutely no way we're going to go through it all tonight. So let's jump to the next screen here, and we have in our glossary, which is we're still kind of in our resources here or in our library, and real estate terms. Now, Doug, you were mentioning that earlier.
So yeah, so I started investing in 2006, and so I started studying real estate investing, and I started to learn this stuff. Well, 5 years ago, my wife joined me in real estate investing, and she had no clue what we were talking about when we said ARV or MAO or any of that stuff. But the glossaries also, so the definitions of the terms that we use and why we use them, she stays glued to that and the acronyms. So the glossary and the acronyms are where Renee goes mostly.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate deal that we kind of get comfortable with some of the terms that we use, and we don't realize maybe the people we're talking to have never heard that term before, and there's nothing wrong with that because they're kind of industry specific. I mean, if you were in, if you made bombs for the military, I'm sure they've got terms in there or acronyms in there they use.
But I have no idea what they are. So
that's right. Absolutely. So
feel free to ask if we use a term that you're not familiar with. Feel free to ask, and we'll do our best to get it clarified so that you know what we're talking about.
Right. Absolutely. So, and once again, this is just a sampling. You can see here that we have, all kinds of terms out there. Once again, you can do the search engine too. So, as Doug said a while ago, ARV. We just take it for granted. Everybody knows what that is. And you hear that at almost every real estate investing business meeting that we go to. And that's after repaired value. That means what that house is valued on the market if it was updated and fixed up. So, and don't be embarrassed if you don't know what that is, but we have a tool to help you out with that.
That's right.
All right. Let's jump to the next. Okay. So ebooks. Oh my gosh. Dennis is an avid reader. I love reading, but I cannot even come close to the number of articles and ebooks and regular books and documents and area that Dennis has gone through and has used throughout his career. Once again, over 50 years of real estate investing. Mm-hmm. So we have put together in our website a ton of reading material that you can pull up and you can understand how that works. I love, my personal favorite is biographies. We have some of those in there. Dennis is coming out with a book. It's called The Real Impact. Oh my gosh. If you're in any business in the world, you need to get this book. And when's the publishing date on that?
December 1st.
December. Oh my gosh. Quicker than I thought.
Yep.
So he has that book coming out. And those of us here, we've had an opportunity to read snippets of that, little areas of that book. And he has so many stories of how people became successful. He has stories in there on Mary Kay. He has stories in there on McDonald's. He has stories in there of Walt Disney, and it's going to be, how many pages is it, Karen?
A lot.
Yeah, it's several hundred pages.
It's
I mean,
a
it's
large book, and I want to say, a lot of times we take things for granted when we see someone that's successful, and you're like, oh yeah, they're successful because they are who they are. When you read this book, you're going to find out how Rocky Balboa had such a struggle getting to where he is today. They didn't. None of these people were.
AKA Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just zoomed in and read The Amazing Story of Rocky, so that's what had that up. But anyway, Sylvester Stallone wasn't always Rocky Balboa, but Walt Disney didn't have all of his successes. You wouldn't believe the number of times that Walt Disney was taken advantage of. I'm going to use that word. That's not what I want to say, but I'm going to say taken advantage of by people that he knew and trusted. And when you read this book, you're like, wow. I've been through some stuff in my life, but guess what? There's hope for me after all. I can do this. So just say it. It's called Impact Daily Inspiration.
Yeah, Doug.
Yeah. So Zig Ziglar used to say that you are who you are and where you are because of what has gone into your mind. And you can change who you are and where you are by changing what goes into your mind. And that's how you do it. You read something. You read what you want to learn about.
You read stuff that interests you. Don't go. I'm an advocate of these schools that are having these kids in junior high and high school read subjects or read things they have no interest in. It just tears me up. Find something they're interested in and give it to them to read, and they will read. They will just become phenomenal readers, but they have to be interested in it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but in our ebook section, we have so many ebooks, and we're adding to it, pretty much on a weekly basis, if not on a daily basis. So when we find great ebooks and we read them and they go, wow, this is a challenging story, or this is a great story of how to put together, a listing, or how to put together the 5 M's and building those skills up in your life. As Karen said a while ago, The Amazing Story of Making Rocky by Tom Ward, and the 10 daily habits of the most confident people. These are some areas that you want to pull up and you want to have in your library. You want to read them as you get a chance. Most of the ebooks that we have in here are pretty short. It's an easy read. You can read them in a few minutes or maybe an hour or something. And let me tell you, in this business, when we go look at houses, sometimes we're sitting out in our vehicle waiting on somebody to open the door for us. It's a great opportunity to read things that are going to help you in your business.
Turn your car into a college.
Turn your car into a college. That's right. Good deal. All right, next screen. So we have objections, and this is what we all run into. And in my life, I look back and go, wow, I could have handled that so much better if I would have just done better. And so we have in our objections, we have seller's objections, short sale, seller objections, buyer objections, bank objections for a short sale, the no need option, objection, the no urgency objection, I'm not in a hurry to sell my house. I don't need to sell my house. The no trust objections, the no money objections. So we have tons of different scripts in here and objections that will just take your business to a new level, because now you're thinking, you've already heard that, you've already read that. They come up with that objection, you can answer that. And my case, I do a lot of subject twos, and they may have an objection about their name remaining on the mortgage. And that's an easy one for me to answer. But let me tell you, when I first got in this business, I didn't know how to answer that. I had to learn how to answer that. I had to learn how to, make sure they understood how that worked. So y'all tell us about some of the objections or some areas there that this has helped y'all in.
I want to jump in real quick and say, there are lots of objections that people can come up with, but I doubt there's any that aren't on here and covered.
Yeah.
So if you find an objection that isn't in this, once you're on the website, if you find an objection that's not covered, send it to us. We'll get an answer for it and we'll publish it on there. So
Absolutely.
Doug, you were telling us an interesting story earlier about one of your students. Can you talk with us more about that?
Yeah. So I taught a student yesterday, and he told me he copied them and put them all in a notebook. But the reason he did is because he runs a workout facility. So it's one of the big workout facilities here in Longview, and he is over the whole thing. And so he has to train people on dealing with objections, because when you're sitting down and you're filling out the paperwork to join the gym, you're trying to think, well, why am I spending all this money on a personal trainer? Well, he has to deal with that kind of objection. And so I thought, well, that's a good reason. And the objections, he already has a handle on that, so he's going to do great with this business.
Absolutely. And who are we and why do we use objections? Is we are problem solvers. We're here to solve their problem, whether it's a seller, whether it's a bank, whether it's a buyer, whether it's another investor, whatever that may be, we're here to solve their problem. And this works so well for our business. All right. So next screen. And now we're going to go to docs. Whoops, we went back. Okay, we're going to go to docs. We have, I can't tell you how many docs are in this. I mean, there's just so many documents that we have in this to walk you through it. Just the other day, I needed a 3-day letter. And what I did, I jump on the website and grab the latest 3-day letter that we have out there. So, I'm like, oh yeah, this is better than the one I've been using. And, I'm very fortunate. I have some rent houses, but I'm very fortunate. I do not have questionable renters. I have some great renters out there, and I give incentives for them to do what they need to do to pay the rent on time. But I had one that was running a little late, and I needed to send him a letter, and he got the letter and he showed up with his rent check. So that's just a great way. And a lot of people have objections to renting properties because of just that. And he got busy in life. He got, and he knew he owed rent. He just kind of pushed it over to the side because it wasn't a priority to him. So, and sometimes you need that information.
Yeah, I would also like to add that these are also available. Most of these are in Word. So you can download it, take it to your attorney if you'd like to have him look over it to see if there's anything you need to change for your unique, whatever your niche is, whatever you're dealing with. Maybe you have to tweak it a little bit. But these have been looked over by Dennis's attorneys. And so, or our attorneys. I remember taking the lease to my attorney, the lease that I got from Dennis's website, and took it to my attorney, and he looked it over, and we made a couple of little minor changes. And then he said, "Can I have a copy of this?" And I was like, "Sure, as long as you don't charge me for this session."
That's right.
So I gave him a copy of it. But everything was covered. Dennis leaves no stone unturned. He's been through it. Therefore, he's going to already know. If he encounters something new, he's going to go fix it and then get that to us.
Absolutely. And Dennis has a similar story where he was at the eviction court, evicting one of his tenants. And the judge looked at his lease, and the judge said, "Can I have a copy of this for my lease houses?" Because there's nothing, and that's why I don't have hardly anything happening with my tenants, because it's covered in the lease, and it gives them
policies and procedures. Also, we tell them exactly what we expect, and then if they break that rule, then we're going to send out that notice. And Dennis has the policies and procedures. Trust me, seamless.
There you go. Any other comments from Doug or Eric? Y'all have any comments on the objection or the docs?
they're all time tested and tried and true. They're really great.
Yeah, it makes our life so much easier.
It does.
Excuse me. We're not, the whole aspect of time management is getting rid of the little things that just eat up your day. And this is what we do in the website.
That's
All right, next screen. Okay, we have a ton of media in here. Videos and audios and software and phone apps. We get a phone app where there's an app for everything, evidently, and so there you got that out there, and we have some software in there. But Doug, you were mentioning earlier about how you utilize the media when you're driving between point A and point B.
Yeah, Karen does this too, but you can hook, if you can hook your phone up to your car, however you do that, and I just log onto the website. I plug in one of the audios of Dennis teaching a lesson. That's how I learned all the things that I've learned, is listening to Dennis tell us how to do it. And it's every single thing I've ever done, I've listened to 5 or 6 times before I went out there and tried to do it myself. And then I even called my mentor anyway, just to make sure I was covered. So
absolutely.
Yeah, Dennis, he has a good habit of recording things when he's teaching, and therefore we and you can go back and listen to them as often as you like. Like I like to go back and listen to things multiple times, and sometimes I pick up on something that maybe I didn't understand before or wasn't relevant to me before. And then all of a sudden, 2 months later, I've got a deal that I want to do raps. I want to go back and listen to that. So, Eric, go ahead.
As a teacher, I know that my students often, many of them prefer listening. Some people are more visual. I am a visual learner. If I see it, I can understand it more thoroughly. And so the videos, even though they have an audio component to them, sometimes the charts or the graphs or the actual formulas being presented in a visual format, not just an audio format, really are helpful to me.
I agree.
Absolutely. So let's jump to the next one. I think we're coming up to wrapping this up. So, and then our training. So this is our training tab is so big, I had to put it in 2 areas. So that goes where it goes from scripts to suggested reading. That's actually one area that goes way down there. So I couldn't fit that all in one area. So that shows you kind of the areas we have in here in our trainings. We have the audios and we have the videos, and we have the slides that we have in there. We have our lessons in there. If you're in one of our lesson plans, you have access to those too. Once again, we have our objections. Sometimes we have a couple of things in 2 different tabs, so it's just easier for us to find, or our students to find. We have various podcasts in there and PowerPoints and policy. Karen, you brought up the policies and procedures a while ago. That is just invaluable for you to have that in place. It's part of building your business plan.
Yeah. Checklists are something that Dennis really drives home with us, that there's a checklist for everything. And if you forgot something, it's because you didn't use your checklist. Yep. And I got to use the WD-40 that I've had in my box since I became an IMT, and I've never used it, but it's in my box. And I had a squeaky door the other day, and every time someone would open the door to go to the restroom, it would make a lot of noise. So I ran over and sprayed it, and I was so proud that I had it because I had my checklist completed.
You messed up Halloween.
Oh well.
So, it just makes everything easier.
It does.
I have a sub 2 checklist, and of course scripts and stuff like that. But I have to use I do subject 2s. I do, I've done hundreds of them, and I still use my checklist because I almost forgot to do that, or almost in these checklists it has, what do you have the other parties doing? What do you expect out of them? So now you can direct them on doing what their job is. Once again, it's time management. So this is something that we see with what I see, especially with realtors, where they try to get involved in things that's not their job. They try to do the title company's job. They try to do the mortgage company's job. They try to do the inspector's job. I had a realtor tell me one time, I can just drive down the road and look at a roof and tell you if it's good or bad.
Whatever.
And I'm like, you need to go to work for the biggest roofing company there is, and you'll make millions of dollars if you can do that. You know, and that's what you've got to look for in this business is you want to make sure that people you're working with are doing their job, and they're not trying to do somebody else's job, because people are like air and water. They're going to take the easiest route they can. And if they think somebody else might be doing that job for them, they're not going to do it. And you're going to get close to closing, or you're going to get at closing, and something has not been done.
Yeah. We had a power of attorney one time that the witness did not initial on there's a couple lines on that one that the witness needed to initial. She signed it, but she didn't initial it. And on my checklist, I literally have, is it, the power of attorney, is it notarized and initialed? And then I check for different things, because if someone just hands you a stack of papers, you assume that it's complete, but there might be the printer messed up and they didn't get that one sheet in there. What if it was your non-disclosures? Yeah. I fully agree with checklists. So, and those are all on the website.
All right. Any other comments on this? We good? All right. Let's jump to the next one. And of course, we have audios. We have just a ton of audios.
Recorded that has been said, it is on this website. Anything that Dennis has ever created a recording on, Roger's made a record, anything. There's
absolutely. So
if it's not there, ask us, we'll make it.
Right. And you can learn so much, because and I tell my students this all the time: turn off the stupid national news. Turn off the what's that?
Turn the TV off.
Well, turn off the junk.
Yeah.
Turn off what's filling your mind and cluttering your mind with the absolute stupidest junk that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Turn off the talk radio. Turn off the national news. People will definitely just totally screw up their life by listening to the national news, or they get so depressed because the talk radio is talking about it's the end of the world. I've been on this planet for a while. I know I've experienced at least a dozen end of the world events. The Aztec calendar, the Y2K, all the 1988 or whatever the George Orwell thing was, whatever that was. Those are the end of and people get focused on that. People will actually commit suicide thinking that it's going to be the end of the world tomorrow.
Let's fill our minds with positive stuff like
that. That's the inspirational stuff that we were talking about earlier that Dennis puts out there. He doesn't write a story about Walt Disney and about how bad his life was. His story is about Walt Disney and how he overcame objections, how he became the most successful person in multiple fields. There were, if you look back in history in the 1920s and 30s, there were thousands of amusement parks around the United States. How many do you have today? Disney is kind of the biggest, and they have it down. I was reading a story about a little girl that lost her tooth at Disney, and the father goes in to a store and says, I need to find an ATM machine so I can give her some, have front the tooth fairy, if anybody's listening that's young, front the tooth fairy some money to put under the pillow. And Disney, she said, I'll be right back. She comes back with a little plastic tooth that she can put her tooth in it. And I don't remember now what they had it, but Disney had something. Oh, it's a Tinkerbell bell or something. And said that at Disney, the tooth fairy does not work at Disney, that the Tinkerbell takes over his job for him. And so it was a great little story on a Disney site about what, who thinks of this stuff? Who's at Disney and goes, hey, this would be a great idea if we did that.
Yeah.
And so we have some audios in here. Some of them are 30 seconds long and some are 30 minutes long, and you just pick and choose and you download it. You see the little arrow on the far right-hand side next to that little cogwheel. That means you can download that audio. And now you put that into your phone, as Doug said a while ago. You put it in your computer, and we listen to these audios every single day.
USB if you have a fancy car like I do.
Absolutely. There you go. And I'm sure maybe somewhere out there, Doug could add it to his 8-track tape player too. So
It's a classic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, but you can tell I'm overwhelmed by this website.
Are
So
we going to have time to finish?
Yeah, we're almost
We're almost done.
one more slide. And once again, folders, and Doug was talking about this earlier, contractor package.
Tell us about
credibility.
Tell us about folders.
Well, so each one of these, so if you have contractors, you want to make sure that you handle them right. And each packet, each one of these folders has a checklist, like you were talking about a while ago. So the contractor packet has a contractor forms checklist. The credibility packet has the credibility checklist. All of these folders have checklists. So everything that you're going to do, you're going to know what to do first, what to do second, what to do third, and you don't skip anything, you'll be covered.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Like, for example, in the contractor's packet, it has that insurance that they're not an employee, they're a 1099 independent contractor.
Yeah.
And then where they're providing insurance. Show me the proof of just don't tell me you have insurance. Show me the proof of your insurance. All these things that if you skip that, that's what's going to bite you in the butt later. Guaranteed.
That's right. That's right.
The most important form in this packet is the final lien waiver.
Yeah.
So once they're done, they're done. They're not calling you back for more money.
And they're not going to go cloud your title and put a mechanic's lien on it because you've had them sign that waiver. Absolutely.
My wife just ran into that with one of our listings. And our next slide, we're going to talk about documents again, but we're going to go through it real quick. So we have various types of documents that we have available. Once again, power of attorneys, letters to the lender, areas like that. Our next one is motivation. That's what we talked about a while ago with Dennis, and his gift to us in life is keeping people motivated. The number one secret of the 7 secrets of success that Dennis wrote out that we all follow is,
get your mind right.
Get your mind right, which means motivation.
Daily reading. Like you said earlier, 30. If you just have a few seconds, go read one of the quotes.
Absolutely. So with that's kind of wraps up our website tonight and what we have out there. We're staying on time, so we thank everybody for being on, but we want to talk about the subject too. So we want to jump to the next slide. Now, we have 2 events coming up, and if you're interested in this and you want to get more information, you can go to realimpactevents.com, and it's realimpactevents.com, no spaces or anything. And we have 2 registrations in there. You can register for Hearst on December the 10th, and you can register for Addison Plano, same area, it's kind of, but Plano, Addison area, December the 17th. These are both on Saturdays. You register for one or the other, and it's an all-day training.
Now, this is the advanced training. This is not the free introductory subject to meeting at each of the locations. I'm going to try to get those dates. I've got the schedule pulled up. Go ahead, Roger. Let's talk about.
All right. So you want to look and find a date close to you on the free introductory thing to get your answers to your questions. But we have 2 events coming up. They're the same event. We're just playing it 2 times. You pay for one or the other. And real quick, we have a video of one of our students that came to me at one of our last classes, and all day Saturday training. At the first morning break, he walks up to me and he says, "Hey, I've got a testimonial I want to give you." This is his testimonial. So let's play that one.
Tommy, why don't you go on?
All right. Thank you. Can everybody hear me? All right. So I knew nothing about real estate in November of 2017. And I took a class, learned a little bit of the basics. Didn't know how to acquire a property. Like most of y'all, I thought, gosh, I have a little bit of money, but this is kind of tough. Where do I even begin, right? So I discovered Roger in 2018 and took his subject to class. I think it was in Fort Worth. And it was pretty cool, right? I mean, everything you're learning, you guys are just at the beginning of the class today. But halfway through the day, I started realizing, wow, there's really, really something to this. So I went out and I aggressively found the attorney, found the CPA, did my marketing. And that's actually when Facebook was actually working for marketing. And so my first year, starting summer of 2018 until summer of 2019, we acquired 26 properties with subject to in 1 year. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. That next slide, please. So that is Tommy's testimonial. Now he came back and paid for a second class, paid for his daughter and son-in-law to come to that class because he was utilizing them. They were working for him in his business, and he wanted them to get that same training that he got. So the price of the training is $349, and then you can bring a friend for $149. If you got two friends, you need to pick your favorite because your favorite's going to get $149. Your less favorite friend is going to pay the $349 again. So it's an all-day personal instruction on the classes. You get my subject to book right here. You get an easy to follow workbook that we put together, and it goes page by page of our training, and you can take notes in it and do whatever you want to do on that. We also have a thumb drive available that has over 50 items in this thumb drive itself, and you get to take that with you, and it's got documents, it's got worksheets, it has contracts, it has subject to addendums, just power of attorneys, state-specific contracts for multiple states in the United States, and it also has generic contracts for other areas. I'm a big advocate of using our state-specific contracts because if you ever have to go to a title company or whatever, they already know those contracts. So we have that in place. The registering on that is at realimpactevents.com. Also go to our Real Impact training website. I got that right, Karen? Is that the? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you want to go to that and you want to pull up the calendar. I am doing, I think, 10 or 12 pre-information subject to meetings all the way from Wichita Falls up to over to Longview, down to Waco, and pretty much everywhere in between Denton, everywhere, and then throughout the Metroplex. So look for that on there. Show up. It's not going to cost you anything to show up to the nightly meetings or the pre-meetings that we have. But what we want you to do is have the right information, build the right team out there. It is not unusual at all for us to put one of these classes on and see a couple of dozen properties get under contract in the first week and a half of the students that are in that class. So it is a very intensive training. I love doing this training. I'm passionate about it. And we want to have you there. So we got any other comments on the subject too?
Doug, I couldn't find yours easily. Do you know right off the bat when?
His is going to be the second Monday of the month of November.
And then Tyler Lindale, you're doing the first Tuesday as usual?
Yeah.
So in December or November?
November. And
so yours is coming up.
Yeah.
So November the 1st in Lindale, there
right.
at
Brisket Love.
At Brisket Love. And then Doug and Renee's will be the second
14th.
Monday, which will be the 14th of November. Okay, I'm dropping this in.
Because he's on the second Monday. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If you can't find it, call me. My number is 903-445-6023 or text me. I'll answer either one. If I don't answer your call, I'll maybe call you back. No, just send me a text. Don't leave me a voicemail. I won't listen to it. And I think I've got them all I'm putting in the last ones. Thank you all for joining us. We are so very excited to have you here, and we look forward to getting to know each of you.
Absolutely. Thank you. We will see you next week. We're going to talk about our coaching. We're going to talk about what we have to offer to you and make sure you have that local coaching. And all, not only do we pull information away or out of Dennis Henson, we pull information away from every Impact franchise IMT owner there is. And we have we're not just one guru that used to be on a reality show or used to be on whatever, and then have a lot of minions underneath us that are teaching you the classes. And I'm not throwing that out there as being bad. I'm throwing that out there. Now you have a personal relationship with one of us that we are here to answer your questions. We are here to help you achieve your real estate goals. And we are local. We know the local players. We know who's out there. We know where to find the money. We know where to find the contractors, et cetera, et cetera. So with that, anybody got anything else in closing?
I think I got all the dates added for the free meetings. The dates that I put in are for the free meetings. And then, like Roger said, if you want to sign up for the all-day advanced training, so you're going to come to the free meeting, you're going to get to learn the basics, what is subject to, when do we use a subject to, when not to use a subject to, all this kind of stuff. And then on the big meeting, the all-day advanced training, the 10th, the 17th, 2 locations, December 10th in Hurst, December 17th in Addison, all day, lunch included, $349. Oh, and our space is limited.
Yes.
We will more than likely not be selling tickets at the door. Once we sell out, we won't be able to sell anymore because we have to make sure we have enough room and enough food.
Right. And we sell every one of these, we sell out.
Yeah.
I don't think we've done one in years. And one last thing is where Doug was talking about the acronyms a while ago. Subject to is acquiring a property without having to go out and get a mortgage. The mortgage is you're taking the existing mortgage and you're making those payments. And we teach you how to do that. And we teach you how to talk to people about that and get it done. So this is an easy process when you have the right information.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. All right. Good deal. Good night, everybody.
Opening in San Antonio.
What's that?
We have a new location open in San Antonio.
We have a new location that'll be opening soon in San Antonio, Texas.
Yep. So if you're out there in the San Antonio area, holler at us so that we can make sure that you know when the meetings are going to be.
We will connect you in with James,
Phrase
and
Michelle. James and Michelle.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, James and Michelle, and we will we'll make this thing happen for you. So thank you all for being on here. See you next week, 7:00, same time, same YouTube channel. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Running your own real estate investment business can be stressful, time-consuming, and difficult to manage. Where do you start? Why go out and try and reinvent the wheel when we have the answer? With our exclusive training program, we will teach you how to free up your time to build your business, develop your goals, learning where to find the money, how to find better deals, keeping track of offers, building a team, and developing a business plan that works for you. We at Real Impact Real Estate Training and Mentoring have all the answers for you. We have several plans to help you get your business to the next level. We have developed the best one-on-one personal training system in the industry. We have a proven structure that has been developed for more than 50 years through the purchase and sales of thousands of homes and commercial properties. We will help you set up and build your real estate investment business. Whether you are new to investing or you are a seasoned professional, we have a plan for you to customize your business to a method that works, is affordable, and fits your budget. With training modules like finding money, finding deals, learning how to get correct comps, building a team, short sales, subject twos, foreclosures, making multiple offers, understanding auctions, REOs, and tax sales, working to build your construction team, and finding sellers and buyers. Find your property management team, plus over 70 additional training modules to choose from. Sit down with us for a one-on-one consulting to see what training plan is best to develop your goals and to build your business by using the 5 M's of investing: mining, money, maintenance, marketing, and management. Wouldn't your life be great if you can live it on your own terms? We help you develop and structure your business to take massive action. Join the Real Impact Real Estate Training today. Change your life today with real estate investing.